Basketball has been a sport that's been played since the late 1800s, made by James Naismith, and evolved into a sport that the United States has watched for the past century. However, the game of basketball is devolving, becoming rather worse than what it used to be. There's only one reason for this. Of course, we still have the flashing dunks, we still have the athleticism from players over generations. However, the three-pointer is ruining the scope of the NBA. Let's talk about it. The NBA has too many three-pointers, plain and simple. I mean, if you look back throughout history, you can take players who played in the 70s and 80s, like Larry Bird, famous Celtics legend, one of the most iconic players of the game for his trash talk and ability to make shots that seemed almost impossible. However, he shot a fairly good percentage throughout his career, shooting about 40% from the three-point line. But at the time, he shot an overabundance of shots, being within the top 20 for almost every single year he became an all-star on both three-point field goals and on three-point attempts. Now, granted, he is glorified as one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time, and one of those players who pioneered the three-point shooting into being a part of the game. However, that is completely different than what it is today. I mean, if you look at a player who is known for his three-pointers, Stephen Curry, who shoots a whopping 12 three-pointers a game. And there's teams out there right now who shoot about half their shots beyond the arc. And this is forcing a change in the NBA that is unprecedented, as, for example, the biggest dunkers of the game, like Anthony Edwards today, and you can go back, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. Some of those players have to adapt to the style of play that is today. I mean, there's 7'4" players who, instead of playing the inside and getting buckets that are easy for them, rather are shooting it from about 26 feet outside the arc, which is completely demoralizing for the league. Rather, in NBA, it's more likely to see a 5-out offense where all 5 players are outside the three-point line than having the tallest guy on the court. You have to put him on the inside and get easy baskets. No. For example, Victor Wembanyama, he's 7'4". However, his game in France was traditionally a inside the paint, maybe a couple shots outside the three-point line. But now he's adapting to shoot more. And it's gotten to the point so that if you don't shoot three-pointers, you basically can lose your job. You have no spot in this league anymore. And that's absolutely ruining the NBA. And don't just take my word for it. Here's former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas on his opinion on the NBA's three-point problem.
Two current teams in the last 40 years cracked the top 10 in scoring. There's history. History's here. History's here. Y'all chucking all these threes, man. You're not scoring buckets. The point is get the ball in the basket by any means. If you shoot 50 free throws, that's 50 points, right?
Yeah.
50 layups, that's 100 points, right?
Yeah.
None of y'all are making 53s, so get that out your brain. It makes sense why the scoring's not up.
Yeah.
Because the people who are shooting it, in history, you're supposed to be shooting the ball. You don't supposed to be taking 10 shots a game? Like think about your team. Think about all y'all teams. And think about the guy who got 1 or 2 shots and it better had been open under the basket. Think about him taking 10 threes today.
And not only that, the pace of play has changed as well. Instead of fighting to the basket, trying to get difficult baskets, of course, on really good defense has become almost irrelevant. I mean, now we've seen back and forth where teams are just shooting 3 after 3 after 3, and it doesn't matter how good of defense you play because they're going to keep stepping back and shooting farther back 3-pointers. For example, Kyle Korver when he played for the Hawks back in 2015 against the Bucks.
There's Kyle Korver again.
How about 2 in a row, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Just takes that first one to go, folks. Ilyasova, he's been hot. Not this time. Teague the rebound. Kyle sprints to the other end.
You got to know where this guy at all times. There he is again.
How about 3 in a row?
It's completely unnecessary, and it's ruining basketball. The whole competitiveness, the defense aspect of it, and just the overall entirety of the NBA is being ruined. And that's the reason why the entertainment value is dropping. The ratings are getting lower and lower, and it's the only fault with the NBA's, and they need to find a solution for it now.